live, you're healthy.
Time with your family is sacred. I cherish the moments I spend with my wife and son every day. As a lawyer, I know how an injury can change all of that in an instant. It impacts your health, your work, your loved ones, your whole life. I'm Austin Jackson, the Augusta guy. After your accident, I'm here to help you recover and get what you deserve for your injuries so you can get back to the moments that really matter. After an accident, call Austin Jackson, the Augusta guy. 706 724 7224.
Get clear, accurate stories that don't waste your time at WJBF.com.
You'll find more ways to sign. Good Morning Augusta, weekday mornings on News Channel 6.
The Live Viper 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai.
Now at noon, the nation grieves for 8 young victims of a mass shooting. We'll take you to Louisiana for the latest. Plus terror on a plane. Passengers, and Augusta's own Aaron Quinton speaks out on Good Morning America. The Blindside actor works to recover from a stroke. Your news at noon starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at noon.
Hi everyone, welcome to News Channel 6 at noon on this Monday, April 20th. I'm Mary Morrison. Thank you for watching. Coverage you can count on begins now with the latest on a deadly accident. Time now for a first check of your forecast on this Monday. Avery, how's the weather shaping up?
Yes, Mary. Well, it is much cooler than it has been. Definitely very different from those temperatures near 90 degrees that we saw practically all week last week. Yesterday, we reached a high of 75 degrees. That is 4 degrees below average. It's been a while since we've said those words together. Temperature is in below average. But overall, Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam showing beautifully clear skies over U.S. Takahatchee. And for most of us across the CSRA, we are much warmer for most in the CSRA over the last 24 hours. Some a little bit cooler, and that's all just because of the timing of the cold front yesterday. Allendale, Bamberg this time yesterday hadn't seen that cold front yet, so they were a bit on the warmer side, but everyone gonna get to around the mid 70s again today. Winds coming in from the northeast after that cold front pushed through, and everyone across the CSRA now in the upper 60s to low 70s. For the rest of your Monday, you can expect very clear skies with highs reaching 78 by 6 p.m. The warm up is coming this week, but then we also have some rain ahead for the weekend. I'll have more on that in just a bit. Mary?
All right, we certainly need that rain. Thank you so much, Avery. Well, coming up, an exclusive interview with Augusta native Quinton Aaron. Hear how the actor is battling back after a life-threatening stroke. You don't want to miss it.
Ethan Lovin.
The WJBF Live Viper 6 Skyview Network is sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Welcome back, and here's a look at temperatures across the CSRA. Everyone's seeing temperatures now in the upper 60s to low 70s as we are reaching 70 degrees in Aiken. It's 69 here in Augusta. Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam showing an extremely clear view across SRP Park. Not a cloud in sight. Temperatures now at 69 degrees, and we're not seeing a cloud in sight. That's because this high pressure system building into the southeast, clearing out any cloud cover in our area. You can see that cold front there at the bottom right hand corner of your screen. That came through yesterday, but the biggest, best, greatest sign that we're seeing is all of this rain over Texas at the moment, and that is showing us that we have a wet pattern emerging ahead as we head into next week. Wind gusts at the moment coming in from the northeast direction, around a 13-mile-per-hour wind gust here in Augusta. We're expecting those to rise to about 15 miles per hour today, but we have dry air filtering into our area, and that's lowering our humidity values quite a bit. Relative humidity across the CSRA at 21% in Augusta. We're sitting at 17% in Aiken. Everyone across South Carolina definitely seeing lower relative humidity values there. Seeing everyone in the CSRA having relative humidity values below 30%, and that leaves us with an elevated risk for fire today. You can see that's really centered across those South Carolina counties, but it should go for everyone across the CSRA. We have those very similar conditions. I mean, everyone's right there around the same temperature, around the same relative dew point, same wind gusts at the moment. So everyone should just heed this warning and do not burn. We're already seeing that affect places across the CSRA as wildfires can spread very quickly. And this is especially imperative for the state of South Carolina. The Forest Commission, they have issued a statewide burn ban until further notice. We'll let you know when that lifts, but because it is until further notice because of these winds gusting to around 15 miles per hour Monday and Tuesday as well. Low dew points continue as we have 33 on Tuesday, 33-degree dew point. It will start to rise a bit on Friday to 48-degree dew points, but those are still extremely low. Definitely you want to take some precautions there. Here's a look at your temperatures over the next 7 days. We're sitting right there below average on Tuesday at 78 degrees once again, but we're rising to 88 on Friday. We cool down as we head into the weekend because for the first time in a long time, rain chances and consecutive rain chances at that are in the forecast. Right now we have 0 inches of rainfall for the month of April. We need about 2 inches, and we definitely haven't had that, so this is a good sign. We have a 40% chance for rain on Sunday, so let's look at that on our futurecast. Seeing that rain start around 6:30 on Saturday, continuing through those overnight hours, definitely going to be beneficial. That continues by 8 a.m. on Sunday. Seeing some heavier downpours head our way towards the CSRA, hoping that can stay a little bit more organized for us, because the more rain we get this weekend is the better, because we are in this very aggressive drought at the moment. Overnight lows dropping down to 44 degrees, well below average. Going to be a very chilly start to your Tuesday morning, and then we warm up as we head throughout the rest of the week, and a wet pattern is ahead. But I mentioned the drought, I've mentioned the fire risk, and here is meteorologist Miller Hyatt to take a look at that as we head beyond the forecast.
The drought continues across our area. In fact, we're now seeing exceptional drought in portions of Emmanuel County, and that statewide burn ban for the Palmetto State continues until further notice. So what are you allowed to burn and what are you not? Well, what's prohibited is burning yard debris, campfires, bonfires, prescribed burns, recreational fires. There is an exception. You are allowed to do cooking on grills, gas or charcoal, and you're also allowed to use limited enclosed fires for cooking and warmth. Of course, you want to check with your local rules. I'll have more details on my Beyond the Forecast blog. You can find that on WJBF.com under the Weather tab.
All right, Miller, Avery, thanks so much. Those dry conditions may have contributed to Saturday's wildfire. McCormick County, it burned dozens of acres. The fire broke out along Whitetown Road between Old Man Jennings Road and El Aquitor Road. Crews moved quickly to contain the flames and stop the spread toward nearby homes. At its peak, about 75 acres were impacted. Multiple agencies responded, including local fire departments, the South Carolina Forestry Commission, the U.S. Forest Service, and the McCormick County Sheriff's Office. No injuries reported. That's good news. Crews will continue monitoring the area. Smoke may still be visible in the coming days. Still ahead, we'll hear an exclusive interview from Augusta native Quentin Aaron. The actor from the movie Blind Side is recovering after a stroke that left him fighting for his life. We'll be right back.
I'm Austin Jackson, the Augusta Guy, and my team is proud to be the official injury lawyers of the Augusta Green Jackets. The Augusta Guy, supporting Augusta's team, all those who call the CSRA home. Call Austin Jackson, 706-724-7224.
Big corporations try.
Get the latest video in one click at WJBF.com.
Time with your family is sacred. I cherish the moments I spend with my wife and son every day. As a lawyer, I know how an injury can change all of that in an instant. After your accident, I'm here to help you recover and get what you deserve for your injuries so you can get back to the moments that really matter.
Now to an ABC News exclusive interview with Quentin Aaron. The Augusta native starred opposite Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side. He's now recovering from a stroke that left him fighting for his life. Here's ABC's Steve Osasami with the latest.
This team is your family, Michael. You have to protect them from those guys. He's the actor who starred with Oscar winner Sandra Bullock in their 2009 movie The Blind Side. A very physical role telling the real-life story of an NFL offensive lineman who beat the odds.
Go!
3, 2, 1, you got this.
Yep.
This morning, 41-year-old actor Quentin Aaron is in physical therapy at an Atlanta hospital trying to learn how to walk on his own after nearly dying in January from a stroke to his spine.
Big question. Big question. Big question. Okay, come back down.
And adding to his pain, he says that while he was hospitalized fighting for his life, he learned that the woman who he thought was his wife, seen here in photos he posted online, was still married to someone else.
That's what eventually led to the doctors removing her from around me.
He was in a coma for 4 days, needed help breathing for a month. And when he woke up, he says that his family told him that his wife Margarita was actually still married to another man and as such could not legally make his medical decisions.
The entire time we were together, she told me she had been divorced for 10 plus years. She even told the person where we were getting married, oh yes, I have all the documents I can email over to you, the divorce decree.
But you never checked on your own.
That's my biggest mistake, you know.
When he was sick, his attorney found these records showing that she was still the wife of a man she married in 1992. You did love her.
Yes, I did. A lot of it was blissful ignorance. A lot of stuff I didn't want to know.
But the woman who he thought was his wife says she simply made a mistake, failing to realize that her divorce was never finalized, telling us that there was always tension between her and Quentin Aaron's family.
When I told Quentin back in the hospital bed, and I want to be very honest about this, and I feel like this needs to be said and brought out. I said to him, I said, Bibi, this information that your family pulled up on me, you know, I wasn't aware of it. I said, this is what I found out. It is true.
If I had a chance to do it over, I would have done my due diligence. I would have definitely done a lot more research. It's been a few, like, over the years.
Aaron says he's now focusing on his recovery, managing the diabetes that led to the stroke.
He's in therapy every day, 3 hours a day. That is the benchmark of all inpatient rehabilitation facilities.
And he's continuing to lose weight, down more than 100 pounds from what many of his fans remember.
The doctors projected that it could take months, it could take a year, or up to a year.
For you to walk again.
Yeah, and I said, I don't claim that time frame. I'll be walking a lot sooner than you think. You know, and that's just how I believe. That's how, you know, between me, my faith, and my relationship with God, I feel like I'm going to be back up on my feet very soon.
Looking back on it now, you know, what would you say to your younger self?
Learn to pay attention to a lot of stuff. I started paying attention to my body because I found out over the years it was speaking very disrespectfully to me, and I was ignoring it.
The woman who he thought was his wife, her husband, filed for divorce in February, in the middle of all this, and confirms to us what she says, that they both thought their divorce had been finalized years ago. Quentin Aaron says he needs to get back up on his feet very soon because he has a few projects in the works and wants us to share that his friends have set up charities to help with his medical bills. Steve Osunsami, ABC News, Atlanta.
After the break, a final check of the forecast. We'll be right back. And Avery, I know that wills and death and that sort of thing, not exactly fun topics to talk about, but necessary. You need to talk to family members.
Yeah.
Let you know what you want, you know?
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
important.
Exactly.
So coming up, Brad's going to fill us in today.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. That's definitely a very educational episode of the Means Report. If you're looking under 10-day forecast, final check of your weather this afternoon. 78 is your high for today. Going to be a very chilly start to your Tuesday morning. Definitely a little bit cooler than what we've been used to. Another high temperature in 78 for Tuesday. 88 on Friday. Then we start to enter a wet pattern as we have an upper level trough going to allow us to see a little bit more rainfall in the coming week.
Boy, we certainly need it. Get
That's
out
right.
inside, though, and enjoy the sun today if you can. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning on Good Morning Augusta.